Hey, it's Hazy Tarot here, and I'm going to do a tarot card reading for Libra for the month of June. Now, I do it a little bit different than other tarot card readers. I still deal out the cards and explain them all like everybody else, but I give you the opportunity to personalize this reading a little bit by drawing your own card. Now, if you finish watching the video, if you like it and you subscribe, and you just comment down below asking for a video, then I'll draw you a card and explain to you what it means. Now, that can be just a card in general, or you can actually tell me what you want it to be about, whether it's like romance or career or anything like that, and I will relate it to that. So, that makes it a little bit more fun, I think, so get on to that. I'm happy to do it for you. And in saying that, if this doesn't seem to resonate with you so much, then be sure to check out your rising sign and your moon sign as well, because maybe that makes a little bit more sense. But let's get on with this. Now, I'm doing this a little bit differently than last month, but pretty much the same. I'm doing 10 cards rather than 8, and I'll explain the other 2 cards as I get to them. So, Alright, this looks to be quite interesting. So you've got an interesting month ahead of you. So this first card is what will be growing stronger this month. And we've got the King of Swords here. So, as a Libra, you are an air sign, and swords are the suit of air. So this is going to represent a couple of things. If you're male, first of all, then this represents you. And it's telling you to work on those traits that sort of the air sign represents, which are things like the intelligence and analytical side of your personality and your education, and it also represents your social skills as well. So it's a good time to actually go out and sort of practice sort of talking to people, getting to know people, and socializing in general. That's going to help you out for the women. This is going to represent a male in your life. And this male is going to be like, they're going to show those traits that I just described. So there's going to be someone who's like an analytical type personality. They're always watching out for what's going on. They're quite an observational type. They're very intelligent, they're well educated. They most likely have a high paying job that requires their intelligence. And either how well you know this person is going to grow this month, or maybe even your feelings for this person are going to grow stronger this month. Maybe you don't actually know anyone straight up like that, but it's a good chance that someone like that will show up in your life. If you're taken, then they can still show up, it's just not those, there won't be those type of romantic feelings. And it's always good to know someone like that, obviously, someone who's smart and educated and has a good job, so look out for that happening this month. Next, we have a card that represents a ripe opportunity this month. Now, we've got another king, which is going to represent another person. Now, this person's a bit different than the King of Swords. This person's a very passionate, sort of out there person. They'll just go and do whatever they want, whenever they want. It can be harmful sometimes, because sometimes they can be a bit more selfish and don't really think of people that much rather than themselves. But a lot of the time, what they want is what other people want. So that's good. They can be quite entertaining and fun to be around. But yeah, the impulsiveness can sort of make things a little bit bad sometimes. But there's going to be an opportunity through this person this month. There's probably someone like that you know in your life, and there's probably multiple people like that you know in your life. But one of them is going to give you a chance at something this month. It might not appear out of nowhere. You might have to sort of talk to them a bit to actually get this opportunity from them, but it's something there for the taking. Next, we have something that will be fading this month. Now, we've got the Chariot here. Now, the Chariot represents sort of pulling 2 opposite forces together to achieve something. Usually, like, if you're trying to go for something and you have to sort of choose one of 2 different ways to go, the Chariot represents finding a third middle way to actually, a third middle path to follow. So this is sort of saying taking the strength from both sides and using both of them together, which is something that takes a lot of effort to do, but it's there. So in the situation where this is fading away, it seems like that there's an opportunity, it could be the same opportunity as before, but I think this is some opportunity that's been on your plate for a while, where you've possibly had to make a choice in it. That choice is fading away. Maybe you've had trouble deciding what it is, but now's the time to decide. And when you decide, it's not necessarily the only choices right in front of you. There's probably more choices there that you haven't seen yet, or more choices that you can make for yourself. So there's an opportunity that's there. You've got to take that as well. Seems like it's a month of opportunities for you. Next is a unique experience that can bring you insight. We've got the Queen of Pentacles here, which is going to represent an adult female in your life. This is someone who's traditional and conservative, someone who is possibly religious as well, someone who is quite caring, and they can be quite family oriented and quite long-term oriented as well. It's probably not someone who's sort of rich and fancy and all of that, but they're someone who really takes pride in what they do in their day-to-day life. Now, this person is going to see a lot of things differently to you. And obviously that's not a bad thing, especially this month, because you are going to learn something from this person. And this may not just be something where like they tell you, oh yeah, this is something I learned, blah blah blah. This could be a new outlook on life. Maybe you don't see life like this person. Maybe there's a lot of the little things in life that you find it hard to appreciate. Maybe this person just has a way of doing that you can learn from them. Who knows? It could really be anything, but this person is going to give you an opportunity to find a new insight this month. So, keep the lookout for that as well. Moving on. The next 4 cards represent 1 week of each of the month. So, the first week, we have the Ten of Swords. So, obviously this doesn't look like a very good card, but you don't have that much to worry about. Like, good and bad things happen all the time. Maybe something that's not the best will happen this week. You can take it literally, and you may be backstabbed, not physically, but someone might betray you about something and you get stabbed in the back in that first week, so keep an eye out for that. Also, can also mean the end of an idea or a thought. Maybe you were sort of going along with something that you found quite important, or like you were following an idea to its end. It's a sign that this is actually going to end, and it just wasn't meant to be. Something that maybe you've been seeing it for a while now, that it's probably not going to end up how you expected it to in the first place, and it's just going to come to an end or give you an opportunity to sort of end it soon. So that'll show up in the first week. In the second week, we have the Four of Swords. So as you can see here, we've got a tomb and swords hanging on the walls. This represents sort of the knights back in the olden days. They used to build their own tombs before they went off to war, so that if something happened to them, then they could just be buried there. But the legend is that they actually, when they came back alive, they went and lied in their tomb and reflected on what happened just in that fight that they were just in. So in the second week, this could be relating back to the first week where this idea went wrong. It's time to reflect in the second week, like the knight does when he comes back from war. You've got to sort of think about what's been happening lately, probably get some time to yourself, free of distractions, and just think about what's happened. And think about what's gone wrong and how you can sort of change it to the future, but also think about the good things that have happened, and what you've learnt and experienced, and how you can do things differently. So second week is a time to reflect. Third week, we have the Six of Cups. And this represents, as we see, it's like child's having fun, and the cups are full of flowers. This represents nostalgia, or something from the past coming back, something good memories. Maybe someone that you knew from the past is just going to show up around this third week and sort of maybe send you a message. Maybe you'll run into them at the shops or something like that. But someone's going to bring back some good memories there. Maybe you won't run into this person, but maybe in that third week you'll just start thinking about the old times and some of the best times in your life, and it might make you feel like actually getting in contact with these people again. So if you do feel like talking to someone from ages ago, feel free to send them a message and ask how they're going and tell them that you remembered that good time in the past. Because I remember I always sort of get those thoughts of those old times, like my friends from school when I was young, and like I should message them and like see if they remember that, because it's always so funny remembering those kinds of things. So in that third week, if you want to like reminisce about something, then go and talk to someone and have some fun with that. That'll be good. Alright, moving on to the fourth week, we have the Empress. So the Empress represents creation. It can represent pregnancy also, a new birth. So if someone close to you might end up getting pregnant, if you're trying, maybe you'll end up getting pregnant around this time. I don't know, but in saying that, it doesn't only mean that. It also means sort of a creation as well. So if you've been looking to start something new, maybe you've been inspired, maybe you've just got a new idea, then this fourth week is saying that it's a good time to start. It's like the earth is fertile and it's ready to sow your seeds there, and it's a good time for growth. So that fourth week, you want to start something new, go for it. It is time. So these last two cards I have not done yet, so we'll see how this goes. This next card represents love. Now, for the single people, this could represent a couple of things. Firstly, it does represent worldly travel. Represents just going on a big trip. Stop thinking about being single and start thinking about expanding your horizons and living life. Just forget about being single. Forget about finding a partner. Don't worry about it. That will happen with time. If you go and do this, traveling is one of those things that changes your mindset completely, and it's a sign that you should do that. If you do change your mindset, then that is a way that will attract people. Traveling builds confidence, and people like confident people, and traveling will do that to you. But in saying that, you don't actually have to go in, for the second reason, you don't have to go on like a big trip. It's just saying go out into the world. Stop sort of thinking about what's going on inside your head, on how you're feeling. Concentrate on what other people are thinking and feeling. Don't worry about yourself anymore. Forget any of that. It doesn't matter. Like, go out and experience things rather than sitting back and just letting things happen. That's what it's saying. For those in couples, it sort of means the same thing with the traveling. It's, you guys should go out and do something. If you've been together a while, you might have gotten, well, you have gotten like really comfortable with each other, I'm sure. Maybe things aren't as spicy as they used to be. This is a sign to actually think big again and start trying to plan something big that can happen. If you have kids and that, obviously that's going to make things a bit tougher, but it doesn't mean it can't be done. This doesn't have to be a big worldly travel trip, but just some kind of trip. Even though those kids need to experience that kind of stuff too, and it will help with your relationship, hopefully. Like, obviously, maybe, well, obviously things can go wrong, but if you plan it properly, it should all be good. So, either way, this is a sign to go and get out into the world rather than just staying in your comfort zone. The last card is going to represent something to do with your career. So, with the moon, this represents some type of error in judgment. So, I'd be careful this month just making big decisions when it comes to the workplace, because unless you're totally sure about it. And if you're not sure, go and like sort of search for reasons, or try and find as many ways where you could be wrong as you could. Because trying to find that is the way of like making sure that you're right. If your plan is foolproof, well, if your plan, has no way to have errors, then go with it. But if you can find errors in something that you're planning to do, then go and try and make it foolproof so you can't make those errors. So this is a sign to be careful when making decisions in the workplace this month. So in saying that, that is it for this month. If you want an extra card, then just feel free to ask for the comments down below, but you gotta like the video and subscribe first. And do that. I'm happy to pick you another card. And apart from that, if this doesn't seem to resonate, then go check out the rising sign or the moon sign, but hopefully it does, and I hope you have a good month coming ahead. Thanks for watching.